Hello and welcome. My name is Sheep Thief, and today I'll be coming at you with some Dominions 5 Warriors of the Faith gameplay. It is early spring in year 3 of this game. We have two battles that aren't really that eventful. We have this fight against PD. There was much less than I thought. Then our Melkart took. We'll watch this battle. Blessing. Earth power. It's a little worrisome with these Vitarius in the front because they do a lot of damage, but should have enough protection to negate most of it. Iron Skin. Legions of Steel. Now we're at 32 protection, 25 defense skill. It's looking good. An Earth Meld, that was a well placed Earth Meld to prevent the surround. And the Earth Shield, or the Vine Shield, begins to do what it does. The units surround the Melkart, and they're slowly killed. Something got a good hit on him, 13 damage. We've received a winged helmet, the air booster from Moria. We've researched Blood Magic 5. Cast Reanimation, Mazakim. Again, there's this battle. We'll go ahead and watch it just for fun. Look at our tactics here. These are our diseased units. I keep wanting them to die, but they do not. One of them dies. Giants move forward. Zods come to the back line and do pretty well this time. For once. They do quite well. They actually did so well. Well, I don't know. It really all just depends on how their backline is set up. Yeah. One Zots dies, one Horite Hunter dies, which I think was one of the diseased ones. More unfortunate events in Silvermark. Earth Gems. Fire Gems. Another unfortunate event in Silvermark. There's something bad happening here. I suspect a remote attack. Fortification in Urmore's unharmed. 2 battle afflictions cured. Diseases. Unbreakable skin on this guy now. Let's see what that means actually. I didn't look at that. Increased protection. So he'll be very hard to hit. Okay, so let's speak about what we're doing. We've got a scout here, free of military units, no province defense, so we'll take that. Urmore did stale again this turn, so I am now assuming that he has been demoralized and is not going to take the rest of his turns. But I think, given his current situation, he would only have a few more to take anyway. So, next turn, this Melkart, who's currently paralyzing the capital, will move down here, take this province. This Melkart will take this untaken province here, hopefully before Femoria or Niflheim get the idea to do it. I was thinking about moving this Melkart on top of this palisades right here, but this is actually a blood 4 Melkart, which, and it's also an astral Melkart. So any astral nations could mind hunt, or I'm sorry, no, that's wrong. They could magic duel this Melkart and kill it. So it's probably going to be in the lab over here. We've got another astral one here, but it's only blood 3. So next turn, the only 2 provinces left to take will be this province and this province. Which brings us to the discussion of the Siege of Ermor. I'm not really sure how this works, but the fortification says the wall integrity is at 3,000. Our siege strength is 438. I'm sorry, wait, the wall integrity is 300. Did I say 3,000? 300. I don't know. It could be, hopefully it's 2 turns. If it's 1 turn, I'll be shocked. But maybe it is. We could probably free up this undead commander. Sai, I like his name. Sai could return here and get these imps. Yeah, so we're gonna have to see how fast we break down the walls here. 2 turns here. When we could just storm with the Rephaim and get the mundane troops moving to start breaking down one of these. I think we'll start with this one. Because I have less confidence in Niflheim and Helheim to not just start trying to prey on this situation. For Moria, we're at least communicating. We'll discuss what I think about this large army here. But I think this fort I can take more time with. And also it doesn't have a throne or anything, and it's smaller. So yeah. Hopefully, again, the goal was 5 turns, so 4 more turns. I don't know if we're going to meet that, but we could at least take a lot of our forces and mages and get them back throughout the Empire doing their jobs. So that's pretty much the situation with the Ermorian War. Yeah. So the next thing to talk about is what to do with my Pretender. My Pretender is now here in this sort of research station. As you can see, he has basically access to every path. He also has 75 research ability, which is a considerable amount considering we are pretty low. I'm moving a lot of my mages over here because he has this inspiring researcher ability. So we might as well get the most out of that. Then I'm also searching. And so realistically, my research per turn is probably more in the order of I think close to 400, and with the god maybe 475. We're recruiting more mages in this province. This we're getting a shaman to keep undead production up. We're getting another king. I digress. The Pretender for now is going to make a thistle mace to boost his nature magic, so that we can get probably at least 3 or 4 werewolves. That's 36 gems. We get 7 per month. So, but the benefit there is we can they will pay themselves back, because if 4 werewolves are all summoning wolves every turn, we should have enough wolves to keep our blood economy working. Um, I read online that wolves got kind of nerfed with patrol, so maybe this isn't a great idea, but I don't know. It's free stuff, and it's the only thing I know of that can really effectively do that with what I have right now. I don't think anything else can really do that. So we're just gonna bring it out. Call of the Wild. There it is. And that way we can patrol down problems with our blood economy. As for our blood economy, we have this guy blood hunting here. We're going to, I think, bring 3 Cohens here and see how this province reacts to it. To having 3 of them in the same province blood hunting. And then we've got it's sort of an experiment, and then we've got all this territory here to blood hunt now that we've taken over Ermor. We are, as I said, I think 4 turns away from blood 6, and then I can't remember how much blood 7 is going to be, so I think we're maybe 10 turns away at least from getting out the vampires, which means we'll have 10 more Cohens. We'll have about 10 more Cohens blood hunting, which should put us in a pretty good place. Not for money, but in terms of blood slaves. And then once we get to blood 7, we can stop making Cohens and maybe send them somewhere to die to get some of the income back. But we'll get the vampires out, and they will boost our blood economy. We can also get these ice devils out. I think 88 blood slaves I think is doable. It depends how much we're spending on blood troops. The ice devils, as you can see, we have a lot of icy neighbors: Niflheim, Helheim, Ulm, and I think from Moria. No, maybe he took heat. Seems like he may have taken heat. Interesting. Well, we yeah, having more super combatants is always good. We're getting a Melkart next turn, and we're going to transition to balls. I already said that in the last episode. So moving on. There is just this question in my mind. I've decided on the werewolves for now, because I think the blood economy is the first priority. But the other question is, what do we do with this? There's so many options that we're kind of paralyzed here. We have access to Air 4. And really, I think the question is, what path do we climb? We need to climb blood, which is actually, given having blood 4, we have blood 4 on my god and on Yurt's, the Melkart. But it's actually not quite good enough. And I'll bring up this, oh, did I close the image? I must have. As you can see, Armor of Souls costs 5, which we don't have. Brazen Vessel costs 5. And Bloodthorn costs 3, but we don't have Construction 6 yet. Armor of Twisting Thorns we could get, but it permanently, and it might be good on our Pretender, but you can't take it off, which would eliminate a number of things. Robe of the Sea, Robe of the Magi, which we can do. No, we can't actually. Yeah, I mean maybe not. Maybe we should just do this. I guess I'm definitely considering Armor of Twisting Thorns. I'll bring it up in the game. This. The downsides are not being able to wear Robe of the Magi, or Robe of the Sea for water. And Robe of the Magi. So we'll have to think about it. We might make it and have it on standby if we need it. But it is pretty efficient. It's cheap and pretty efficient. So I don't know. I'm really hoping we get a one of our national heroes in these next few turns, because that would definitely change things. Another question is whether or not. No, that doesn't really matter. Yeah, other options for climbing are death would be really nice to have. We don't have great death income, so that's on the back table for now. But we can get to death 4, which is what we need for the vampires. And then beyond that, climbing death might be an option if we can get good death income. I don't know. I just they're useful for patrolling. They're useful for siege. I'm also just a big fan of the Wraith Lords. I think they're a good unit. But I don't know. Getting like the high level death will require research that isn't planned right now, and also it will not just for pulling out like these high level things. Ghosts, I think, are good. Um, Ghosts, Wraith Lords, and then like Well of Misery would be the way to end that out. But that's such high level that we can't really. That's just so far in the future. I don't think that's gonna happen. So for now, so that's not my current plan. Maybe air, except not really. There's nothing that useful that we need until Queen of Elemental Air, or the Gale Gate. But again, these are pass. And then also for like, if we're gonna go back to the Wraith Lords, if we're gonna do Wraith Lords, they're not like usable until you get Soul Vortex, which is Alteration 6. And we're definitely gonna climb Alteration. So I think once we get Alteration higher, then we could think about climbing Death. But yeah, I think for now we have Blood Hunters coming out, and I don't think we need Construction 6 right now. Yeah, so we will continue with our research plan of Blood Magic 6, Blood Magic 7, then Construction 6. What else? Yeah, I don't know. Anything else to do with the Pretender Flame Spirits, maybe? To have some extra flame casters. We could. I think at this point we could talk about foreign policy. Ulm and Marverni, I think, are negotiating with each other due to a question that was asked on Discord, which he basically Ulm asked everyone if it's okay if they did some diplomacy on Discord, and I said no, because everybody so far has done all their diplomacy in game, and so no diplomacy has been done out of game to my knowledge, and I trust them. It seems like I think everybody's been doing it in game. I've seen a lot of diplomacy happening in game, so. But that was just a question that was asked, which I said no to. But it did reveal that Ulm is talking to somebody, and it could either be Helheim or Marverni. And considering that Marverni besieged and took this Ulmish castle right here, I wonder if there's some kind of peace treaty happening between Marverni and Ulm, which I don't like at all. Ulm seems to behave fairly bombastically, so I hope that Marverni got pissed off at Ulm and attacked him, and that Ulm was like, hold on a second, I need to be careful, and made a peace treaty. This is all conjecture on my end. There could also be a peace treaty happening between Helheim and Ulm. I don't like this. I want these people to be at war and fighting each other. What's good is that Helheim seems to definitely have researched. There's this big army here, but what I'm getting at is that there's now this situation where treaties are being worked out, and they're big armies along my new borders. Big human armies. They don't particularly intimidate me that much from their competition. It's just their presence makes me nervous about doing this sort of blood economy boom that I'm doing. So again, I mean, it doesn't really change much. We just need to finish this, the capture of Ermor. Keep an eye on our pretender, and also, Ermor seems to have done his turn. I just noticed. So there could definitely be, this changes things. I just need to reassess whether or not I'm making any moves that are like assuming that he's just idle. This one is an obvious one if he puts PD into there. Whatever, but that's just a scout. The question is whether or not he'll move here and take this. Whether he'll move here either. He could move here, he could move here. Wherever he moves with this, he has two options. He can move here or here. This Melkart will fence that wherever he goes off. Our main army will be here. There's no way for him to get there. I think we'll leave this as is. If he moves here with some kind of force, I do not think it would be that big. If he does, though, we have these elementals who can, this elemental battery that could fend that off, and then this Melkart. This is the question: where does this Melkart go? Because I suppose a more defensive option would be moving this Melkart either here or here. But I think we're in a position where we could bring it here, and then whatever he does, retaliate from behind. Yeah, so we'll leave that the way it is. I don't think we're doing anything stupid. I don't want to underestimate it. Him staling can be kind of dangerous, because you like start making decisions assuming he's going to stale, and apparently he hasn't. So anything else to talk about? Yeah, the Ulm and Marverni armies make me nervous. This Fomorian army also makes me nervous. However, we have been in quite good contact, and I know he's thinking about striking at either Agartha or Niflheim. So hopefully this is just in transit. I've seen this big army here before. It could also just be like a reminder to me that he's strong. Okay. But a more cautious part of me says this could be a surprise attack. We have an NAP, but you know, betrayal is a thing in this game, so we have to be careful. And this would be an unexpected attack. I think, yeah. The final thing is that we just have generally low military numbers. I was hoping that my like blood production of military would be stronger at this point, but it's not. What I want is, I mean, we could just kind of calculate this. I want, theoretically, it would be nice. My original plan was to have Demon Knights, which we can get now. So 15 of those. If we could be producing 2 of those per turn, in 5 turns we'd have a 10-man squad. And that's 30. We need an income of 30 blood slaves per turn to be able to sustain that. What would also be good is the Serim, which have a good bless. They haven't performed particularly well, but we also haven't really placed them on the battlefield that well. And I think as time goes on, they'll get better because we'll be able to buff up some of their weaknesses, like their protection and stuff. So this is effective in terms of numbers. So for 23 if with an income of 23 blood slaves per turn, we can get 5 per turn, which means in 5 turns we'd have 25. We can also do this with a large number of mages. 2 blood 2. If we had like this is scalable for when we get like hundreds of blood slaves per turn, we could be making a lot of those. In theory, I would like both. So let's just say the goal is like 100 blood slaves per turn. 30 for Demon Knights, 50 for Serim, leaving 20 for accumulation and other assorted things. Shadim, I think Shadim are sort of like lightning casters, but I think they won't be very good against a number of our enemies. The Fomorians have a lot of lightning resistance. Never mind, they have cold resistance. What about these? No? Maybe it would be good against them. Their thugs do, or their super combatants do. Okay, maybe they wouldn't be bad against Fomorian elves. Wait, let's see, what about their, these things? No? These are just sort of like elves. Okay. Then Ulm is the most bombastic, and I think they have lightning resistance, right? No? Cold resistance. Okay. And then Marverni. I think he's mainly using these boar warriors. They're berserk. So Marverni, our original fear strategy, will not be good against them. Yeah, I don't know. I think all of this just says that we need to sort of adapt our strategies. Maybe Demon Knights aren't the best course of action. I'm not really sure. I don't know. We just need to think, get more information, finish this. and just be prepared for some weirdness because I see it coming. This is about the time in the game where weirdness starts to happen. Other than that, I would say the final thing is just should we recruit some mundane troops? We could do this. Massive chariots is always a good way to just win a battle, but they're expensive. I don't know. One thing we could do is we can definitely do flaming arrows plays, but it's just so hard to recruit a lot of these. But I actually kind of like it. Flaming arrows. All of our stuff is fire resistant. It's a lot of fire though, like one rain cast. But I don't think Femoria has access to water. I don't think Ulm does, and I don't think Marverni does. Flaming arrows about behind a bunch of blood summons. What's their siege strength? Not great, not terrible. What about like no. Let's just do it. How many chariots do we? We'll have chariots here. We have a growing number of chariots here. And these. And here and here we could do something like this. So we're getting about three. We're getting 3 here, 2 here, 3 here. So what is that? 6 plus 2, 8 per turn. So in a few turns we'll have, in about 5 turns we'd have 40 of them, which would be a nice addition to our forces. They can sit all the way in the back too, and they're good. They have good protection, not good defense skill, good hit points, a helmet, a short sword instead of a dagger. That's actually really good. Like they're good in melee if they had better attack skill and defense skill, but their protection kind of makes up for it. We can buff their protection even more with Legions of Steel. I think this is a good play. And we have so many fire gems. We could get like multiple flame spirits. And if we continue to do this, have multiple flaming arrows armies. And it just seems like a good way to I don't think there are any ranged blood summons, except for the lightning demons, which would just add to the getting flaming arrowed, storm demoned, and we have special better Shadim storm demons, and then just standard blood summons and like Hinnom giants in the front line. That's pretty obvious. Counters would be rain and yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Like the arrow protection, arrow fend or whatever. Okay. I like this. We've addressed the army situation. Other than that, let's check the time. This one dragged on a little longer than I wanted to, but I think that's all. Thank you for watching. Tune in for the next episode, and wish me luck.